Good morning everyone. This is lecture number 54 of Engineering Thermodynamics. In last lecture, we saw water tube boiler and high pressure boiler and one boiler mounting, that is water level indicator. Today we will see remaining boiler mountings. Let us start with fusible plug. The fusible plug is mounted on the furnace. When the water level in the boiler is reduces predominantly, and due to very high temperature in the boiler, the burning of tubes or the bursting of boiler can be happen. To avoid that, fusible plug is there. Now the function of fusible plug: when water level in the boiler reduces to high level or very low, reduces to very low level, then due to very high temperature, the fusible metal melts, or the fusible plug melts, and it creates the opening for water to enter in the furnace and fire extinguishes, and due to that combustion stops. As the combustion stops, formation of steam stops. Here you can see this portion is the crown of the furnace, or the top body of the furnace, top portion of the furnace, on which fusible plug is screwed. On the furnace. Now fusible plug consists of two bodies, the lower body and upper body. Now lower body has the opening and upper body consists of the fusible metal. Upper body is screwed on the lower body of the fusible plug, and upper body consists of fusible metal. Now here you can see zigzag line. This zigzag line is a fusible metal. When the temperature inside the boiler increases to very high level, in that case boiler tube can burn. And boiler can burst. Now to prevent the bursting and burning of the tube, fusible plug is provided. At very high temperature, fusible metal melts. And it drops in the furnace, and it creates the opening for water to enter. Steam pushes the water inside the furnace, and in the furnace fire extinguishes. Fire stops, so that the combustion stops and formation of steam stops. The function of fusible plug is to prevent the boiler against damage due to overheating for low water level. If the water level is very low and due to high temperature, fusible plug prevents the boiler against damage due to overheating. Now working of fusible plug: during the normal operating condition or during normal operation, the fusible plug is submerged in the water. So that it cannot melt. It should not melt. Fusible plug is submerged in the water so that it should not melt at operating condition. Fusible plug melts only when the temperature is above the operating condition. During the normal operation, the fusible plug is submerged in the water, which keeps the temperature of the fusible metal below the melting point. But when the water level falls below the top of the fusible plug, it is uncovered by the water. When the water level goes below the fusible plug, then due to high temperature, fusible metal melts. The fusible plug therefore melts by the heat of the furnace. Thus the fusible metal drop down and is held within the gunmetal body by the ribs. The fusible plug is made up of gunmetal. But fusible metal is a different. There is the metal which is going to melt is called as a fusible metal. It is made up of different material, and the fusible plug is made up of gunmetal to avoid the rusting. The opening so made allows the steam rush into the furnace and extinguish the fire. The opening created in the fusible plug allows the water and steam to enter for extinguish the fire. The damage to the firebox which could burn up is avoided. Due to overheating, the damage to the boiler can be avoided with the help of fusible plug. Now there are different shapes of fusible plug. Here you can see three different sizes of fusible plug, and this is a different shape of fusible plug. In the upper portion, inside the upper portion there is a, here you can see white portion. White portion is a fusible metal. When due to high temperature, this fusible metal melts and creates opening, and from this opening steam enters in the furnace and fire stops. Next, mounting steam stop valve. Now steam stop valve is used to supply the steam which is generated in the boiler to the application area. Okay, if we take an example of steam engine, steam stop valve supply the steam to the piston cylinder arrangement which is used in the steam engine. Or if we take an example of steam turbine, then steam stop valve supplies the steam to the turbine or prime mover. Now it consists of lower flange. The lower flange is mounted on the boiler chest. The lower flange is mounted on the boiler chest. Now this has an opening. Through this opening, steam enters in the steam stop valve. Now steam stop valve consists of a wheel which is attached to the spindle. Now the lower end of this spindle is connected to the wall, and wall is mounted on the wall seat. Wall is mounted on the wall seat. Now this spindle is supported. This spindle is supported on the steam stop valve cover. Then it is further supported by the yoke which is connected with the studs, and there is a gland. Now gland provides the proper rotation. Gland provides the proper rotation of a wheel. Now here on the spindle there are thread, and in the gland there is a thread. Means this spindle rotates in the thread of a gland. Now the clockwise rotation of a wheel moves the wall in the downward direction, and anti-clockwise rotation of the wheel moves in the upward direction. Now this direction can be adjusted by giving the different type of thread. If it is clockwise thread, then during a clockwise rotation it will move in the downward direction. If the threads are anti-clockwise, then it will move in the upward direction during clockwise rotation. Now from this, when the wheel is rotated in the anti-clockwise direction, this wall lift up. This wall lift up and creates the opening for steam to exhaust to the outlet. It creates the opening for steam to exhaust to the outlet, and then the steam is supplied to the turbine. Now it consists of outer body. It consists of outer body. Outer body having the flange, and this steam stop valve is mounted on the boiler chest with the help of this flange. Now this body is connected with the cover, and cover has gland, yoke and stud. Yoke is connected to the cover with the help of stud, and inside the cover there is a gland. There is a gland which allows the movement of spindle when wheel is rotated. Now this wheel is rotated manually. This wheel is rotated manually when steam is required. When steam is required, this wheel is rotated in the anti-clockwise direction. It creates the opening to the wall. It lifts up the wall, and it creates opening for the steam to supply steam to the turbine. The steam stop valve, a junction valve, is a valve which is placed directly over the boiler and connected to the steam pipe which carries the steam to the turbine or engine. This valve is directly mounted on the boiler chest, means directly mounted on the boiler, and which supplies the steam to the turbine or engine. If the valve is placed on the steam pipe carrying steam to the turbine and placed near the turbine, it is usually termed as a stop valve. It is usually termed as a stop valve. Why it is called as a stop valve? Normally, during operating condition, normally when the power plant is working, this valve is opened. But when we need to stop the working, this valve is operated for stopping the supply of steam to the turbine so that plant can be stopped. Therefore, this valve is called as steam stop valve. Now, function to shut off or regulate the flow of steam from the boiler to the turbine. To shut off means to stop, or to regulate the flow of steam from boiler to turbine. When the hand wheel is turned, the spindle which is screwed through the nut is raised or lowered depending upon the sense of rotation of the wheel. This is the wheel on which spindle is connected, a spindle having thread and which is rotated in the gland, and it is movement of a spindle is depend upon the sense of rotation of the wheel. The passage for flow of steam is set on opening of the valve. Now here you can see this is the seat and this is a valve. When this hand wheel is rotated, the movement of valve takes place. Okay, when the hand wheel is rotated for opening the valve, this valve moves in the upward direction and creates the opening for steam to supply for the engine or turbine. Next, feed check valve. Feed check valve is also same as that of steam stop valve, but different in function. The function of steam stop valve is to supply steam to the turbine. Now the feed check valve, the function of feed check valve to take water from the hot well and supply high pressure water to boiler. Now steam stop valve handles steam and feed check valve handles water. Therefore, there is a difference in material of the feed check valve and the steam stop valve. Steam stop valve handles steam because it has to carry steam to the turbine. Now feed check valve handles water, which is at high temperature and high pressure. Feed check valve supplies high pressure water to the boiler. Now this lower end is connected to the pipe, and that pipe is connected to the hot well. Now pump increases the pressure of water which is coming from the hot well when the feed check valve is open. When feed check valve is open, the water is supplied to the boiler. Now feed check valve supplies the water at higher pressure than the boiler pressure. If the pressure of water is less than the boiler pressure, in that case feed check valve remains closed. Feed check valve opens only when the water pressure is greater than the boiler pressure. Now it consists of the lower body, which is again consists of cover, then yoke, spindle and gland. Hand wheel having spindle which rotates inside the gland. The moreover, the function of feed check valve is same as that the steam stop valve, only slight difference in construction and function. The feed check valve, the function of feed check valve is to control the supply of water to the boiler and to prevent the exception of water from the boiler when the pump pressure is less than the pump. With the function of feed check valve is to supply water from hot well to the boiler and to prevent the back movement of water, from boiler to the hot well. Okay, when the pressure in the boiler is greater than the pump, in that case this valve remains closed. To allow the feed water to pass into the boiler, to prevent the backflow of water from the boiler in the event of failure of the feed pump. Suppose feed pump is failed, it disallows the water from boiler to escape. The feed check valve is fitted in the water space of the boiler slightly below the normal level of the boiler. Now blow off cork. Blow off cork is a type of a tap. It is just like a tap which we use at our home. We use a tap for draining the water from the tank or the pipeline. Similarly, blow off cork is used for draining the water from the boiler in case we need to stop the function, stop the working of boiler. In that case, we need to empty the boiler. We will open the blow off cork and the water in the boiler will be removed. This is the first case. Now, blow off cork is used every 5 to 6 hours for removing the mud and impurities which is collected at the bottom of the boiler. Water contains impurities. Water which is supplied to the boiler contains impurities when water is converted into steam. When the water is converted into steam, impurities in the water is settled down in the boiler. If the impurities is not removed, then it forms the scale which reduces the heat transfer. Okay, if the heat transfer rate reduces due to overheating, the boiler can burst and the water tube can burn out. Therefore, to avoid this, blow off cork is used, and blow off cork is operated after every 5 to 6 hours for removing the mud and impurities from the boiler. It also consists of a casing, or we can say body. Inside the body, there is one spindle. At the lower end of the spindle, there is a plug. Now that plug is a opening. That plug is a rectangular opening. When this spindle is rotated, with the help of hand wheel, and this plug matches the opening with the casing, then water gets removed from the boiler. The construction of blow off cork is similar to that of feed check valve and steam stop valve, only difference in function and a slight construction. It consists of a gland. Inside the gland there is a spindle. At the lower end of the spindle there is a plug which is having a rectangular hole. The function of blow off cork to drain out the water from the boiler for internal cleaning, inspection, repair and other purposes. The function of blow off cork is to drain out the water from boiler for internal cleaning, inspection, repair or other purposes. It may discharge portion of water when the boiler is in operation to blow out the mud, scale or sediment periodically, and that period is 5 to 6 hours. Every after 5 to 6 hours, this blow off cork is open to remove mud and impurities. It is fitted on the boiler shell. Directly or to the short branch pipe at the lowest part of the water space. It is fitted at the lowest part of the water space so that collected impurities can be removed. The commonly used blow off cork is shown in the figure. It consists of conical plug. Fitted accurately in the similar casing. This is a casing. This conical plug is fitted in the casing. The plug has rectangular opening. Which may be brought in line for pass by rotating the plug. When this plug is rotated, this rectangular opening matches the opening of a casing. When the opening of casing and this rectangular opening matches, then water removes from the boiler. This causes the water to discharge from the boiler. The discharge of water may be stopped by the rotating the plug again. The discharge of water from the blow off cork can be stopped by rotating this plug again. Next is safety valve. The function of safety valve is to release the excessive steam when the pressure of steam inside the boiler exceed the rated pressure. When the boiler pressure is above the working pressure, if the boiler pressure is above the working pressure, in that case safety valve come into action and it opens and it allows excess steam to escape in the atmosphere so that working pressure can be maintained. When safety valve opens, it allows the excess steam to escape in the atmosphere and this safety valve close when the pressure of a steam come below the working pressure. Now there are four types of safety valve. First is lever safety valve, second dead weight safety valve, third spring loaded safety valve, and fourth is high steam and low water safety valve. Let's understand lever safety valve. Lever safety valve or all type of safety valve is directly mounted on the boiler chest. Directly mounted on the boiler chest. Now lever safety valve consists of a flange, the lower body of the flange. This is the body of a lever safety valve. This is a flange. This is mounted. The flange is mounted on the boiler chest. On the body, one lever is connected. That lever is connected with a valve, as well as another end of the lever is connected with the weight. Now this valve, this black color valve is mounted on the valve seat. This is a valve seat, and this valve seat is screwed. This valve seat is screwed on the body. This is the opening. When steam enters in the safety valve, when the steam overcomes the inertia of the weight connected on the lever safety valve, then this valve lift up. And creates opening for steam to escape. It consists of a valve resting over a gunmetal seat. This is a gunmetal seat, and this gunmetal seat is screwed on the body. The valve seat is fixed on the mounting block fitted over the boiler shell. This body is mounted on the boiler chest with the help of flange. One end of the lever is a hinge to the rod of the mounting block. This one end is a hinge on the rod of a mounting block, while the other end carries the weight. Now by increasing this weight, we can increase the working pressure of the boiler. If we want to decrease the working pressure, we can reduce the weight connected on the other end of the valve, on the other end of lever. Next, dead weight safety valve. Dead weight safety valve is the same as that of spring lever safety valve, but difference is that in lever safety valve, one end is connected, one end is hinged, and other end consists of a weight. But in this case, it consists of a weight carrier. And on weight carrier, it carries the weight. W represents the weight and C represents the weight carrier. Now P is a steam pipe. On the steam pipe, you can see black color there is a valve seat. And on valve seat there is a valve. V represents the valve and S represents the valve seat. Now valve is resting on the weight. When steam enters in the steam pipe, and it applies the force on the wall. When the steam overcomes the weight attached on the dead weight safety valve, this valve lifts up and this creates the opening for steam to escape. Now the advantage of dead weight safety valve, we can adjust the pressure by removing and adding the weight on the dead weight safety valve. If we want to reduce the working pressure, in that case we can remove the weight which is attached on the dead weight safety valve. If you want to increase the working pressure, in that case we can add weight, we can add more weight to increase the working pressure. Now this safety valve is not suitable for moving or the mobile plants like locomotive and marine. This is not suitable because due to very high vibration there is a chance of, due to a very high vibration this is not suitable. Okay, the dead weight safety valve consists of a valve V. You can see here, this is the valve V, which is made of gunmetal to prevent the rusting. Most of the valves are made up of gunmetal because to prevent rusting it is made up of gunmetal. It rests on the gunmetal seat S. It rests on the gunmetal. You can see black portion. This is a seat, gunmetal seat, and it's fixed to the top of the vertical steam pipe. This is a vertical steam pipe on which there is a seat, and on the seat valve is mounting. The pipe has a flange. Pipe has a flange. This lower portion has a, this pipe has a flange which is mounted on the boiler chest. The pipe has a flange at the bottom for fixing at the top of the boiler shell. A weight carrier is suspended from the top of the boiler. This is the weight carrier. This is the weight carrier mounted on the wall. This is the weight carrier mounted on the wall, and on the weight carrier weights are placed. It carries the cast iron ring. It carries the cast iron ring means weight. The total weight must be sufficient to keep the valve on its seat against the normal working pressure. This weight is calculated, and it is calculated in such a way that this weight should be sufficient to handle the working pressure. It is mainly used for low pressure, low capacity stationary boiler for the Cornish and Lancashire boiler. This is not suitable for moving boilers. Merit: simplicity in design. It is very simple in design, gives quite satisfactory performance during operation. It can be easily tempered from pressure adjustment view. It can be easily tempered for pressure adjustment view. As I said, if you want to decrease the working pressure, we can remove the weight ring. If you want to increase the working pressure, if we can add the weight. Demerit: unsuitable for use on any boiler where excessive vibration and movement are experienced. In the boiler where excessive vibration is there or movement of a boiler is there, in that case this is not suitable. Example, locomotive and marine work. It is not suitable for high pressure boiler because a large amount of weight is required to balance the steam pressure. It is not required for high pressure boiler. If you use dead weight safety valve for high pressure boiler, it would require the large number of weight rings. The working of dead weight safety valve. When the steam passes through the boiler exceeds the normal working pressure, it lifts the valve. When the boiler pressure exceeds the working pressure, then it lifts the valve with its weight. The excess steam therefore escapes through the pipe to the atmosphere until the pressure reaches its normal value. Next, spring loaded safety valve. The function of spring loaded safety valve is the same as that of other safety valve, only difference in construction and working. Now it consists of U-shaped body. It consists of a U-shaped body. This steam pipe is written as P1 and this is P2. This valve is mounted on the boiler shell or boiler chest with the help of flange. Now this is the lever. Lever is connected to the two valves. Lever is connected to two valves, and this lever is supported with the help of spring to the shackle. This is the shackle, and this spring or this lever is supported with the help of shackle on the spring. When steam enters in the pipe 1 or pipe 2, it applies the pressure on the wall, it applies the pressure on the wall against the spring. When the pressure overcomes the spring force, when the steam pressure overcomes the spring force, then this wall lift up, and creates the opening and supplies exhausted steam to the surrounding. For locomotive and marine engines, both lever and deadweight safety type are unsuitable. For locomotive and marine engine, deadweight safety valve and lever safety valve is unsuitable for various reasons, and the valve must be spring loaded. As such, valve is unaffected by vibration or deviation from the vertical. For locomotive and marine engines, both lever and deadweight safety valve, look at here, lever and deadweight safety valve type are unsuitable for various reasons, and the valve must be spring loaded, as such valve is unaffected by vibration or deviation from the vertical. Disadvantage of spring loaded safety valve. One disadvantage of this valve is that the load on the valve increases as the valve lifts. So that the pressure required just to lift the valve is less than that required to open it fully. Means pressure of the steam here should not be very high, and it is just slightly higher than the working pressure, so that this valve can be lifted slightly. Now, discussion of the spring loaded safety valve. It is loaded with a spring instead of weight. In deadweight safety valve, the weight was used for maintaining the pressure. In the boiler, but in this case, spring load is used for maintaining the pressure in the boiler. It is loaded with a spring instead of weight. Hence, it is called spring loaded safety valve. It consists of a cast iron body having two branch pipe P1 and P2. Look at here, there are two pipes P1 and P2. When the steam enters in the spring loaded safety valve, steam is divided into pipe 1 and pipe 2. Two separate valves are placed over a valve sittings, which is fixed to the top of the branch pipe. Here you can see there are two separate safety valves are used, which are fitted on the branch pipe. A lever is placed over a valve. And one valve is fitted on the fulcrum, and other valve. Both valves are fitted on the lever, and this lever is supported on the shackle with the help of spring. The lower end of the spring is attached to the valve body by means of shackle. Thus, the valves are held tight to their seat by the spring force. Now, working. When the steam pressure exceeds the normal working pressure, the valve rise up against the action of the spring and allows the steam to escape from the boiler till the pressure in the boiler reaches its working pressure. The spring loaded safety valve is much lighter and compact compared with other safety valves. For locomotive or marine service, the safety valve should be such that it is unaffected by jerk and vibration likely to occur in such device. Hence, spring-loaded safety valve is preferred for locomotive and marine services in addition to stationary boilers. Here you can see the picture of spring-loaded safety valve.